nominees.
All right, so for the doghouse, right, I want to nominate Reggie Jackson's shoes because and his ankles and his ankles and his shoes because
Well,
put
you
them in the doghouse.
can't do his ankles. He was proposing. You know, he was trying to get
Oh my God.
he was trying to get a Wolves the ring that they got last year. You know,
Man, crown him.
Reggie wasn't.
That's the sound that should have played as he was falling. That's exactly what should have played.
Dang.
Man,
Reggie
y'all can see,
Jackson.
man.
And not only he fell, he kind of like crawled a little bit for like a 2 seconds, like a second and a half. I'm like,
What
bro.
made it worse was he got up and Ant was like him right there and kept dribbling
no.
like, no, him.
Like he wasn't even there. Right? He's like,
Hey, I feel bad for KCP because he was like, bro, I'm still right here. He's like, nah, he failed though. Now watch me go get this bucket.
mm-hmm.
There's nothing they can
They
do.
need to get KCP off of Ant too. KCP getting cooked.
That's that Pistons KCP, man.
Aaron Gordon is the matchup. Aaron Gordon, but he cooking Aaron Gordon too. But he should be the primary defender. He got to be the primary defender. I think he their best wing defender, honestly.
they should blitz. I'll blitz Anthony Edwards all night on the court.
But it's too late for that now because they playing in Minnesota. And so, like, when the Suns did the same thing, the Suns was loading up on Ant, and Ant was just picking them apart, moving the ball. Guys was hitting shots. Now, on the road, they might not hit those shots. At home, them shots is falling. That's why they in trouble. They in trouble.
I'm so glad you said that, AJ. So glad. Because at home, teams are different. But it's something about going back to Indiana that we may be in store for. Now, this team up here, you know, they say the tri-state. Shout out to Blaze yesterday for giving me this alley-oop. A lot of controversy in MSG. But you know, if you're on Instagram and you see sidewalk talk, you've heard this. And it kind of happened in the fourth quarter or maybe towards the second quarter. I don't know when Tyrese didn't show up. This may be Tyrese from TGT. We don't know which Tyrese this was last night. But after that turnover, all we could say was, and y'all know the rest. Because when you see them three dogs in your front yard, just know they on the court going hard. Them Villanova boys, man, put up another hurting on another team. 121-117 to take the win over the Pacers in game one. And I know our next guest is going to have a lot to say because he had a lot to tell us about how this team didn't even stand a chance. Now the Pacers are fighting back. I don't know how we about to do this, but we about to make this happen. We got to welcome out, can we say future MVP?
Stop. We got
He ain't even looking. He ain't even know. Popped up like the Undertaker. He ain't even know. We're going to bring Tony up, man. You can bring him up. We'll make the edits in the background. While you talking about this, we're going to fix the cameras, man. Tell us why the Knicks made your Pacers look like an AAU team.
Hey, man, I don't know. The game sort of went the way I thought the game was going to go. Thought the game was going to go that way. There's a lot of controversy I saw in there, but a win is a win. They won the game. But, you know, I'm just looking at it the same way what happened with us in Milwaukee. We lost the first game in Milwaukee, too. So I'm not really worrying about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened to Mr. Halliburton. I don't know what was going on. They still looking for him, right? He's like Waldo last night. I don't know what was going on with him. He just looked like he was out of it. Like after I think it was after he hit that 3-pointer at the end of the second quarter. Hey, bro, after he hit that 3-pointer at the end of the second quarter, and my man came back and hit that 55-footer to end the half, it's like he was out of it after that. Like he was
mission failed. We'll get him next time.
He was like, what? He what happened? He made that, and he was done. Like even his passes. Like, did you watch some of the passes? Some of the passes he was doing, where he was throwing it over top of Pascal's head, throw it to the other side of the court. I was like, what is he doing? Like he was off last night. I don't expect it to happen. I don't expect for that to happen tomorrow night. I expect to see a different team. Nembhard was the only one that was like really like he was going hard last night. That dunk was crazy. I don't know what that was. Where that came from. When he did it, I was like, where was that all season, bro? Like where was that aggressive play all season? But Knicks won the first game. Hopefully the referees will see certain things that I saw last night. They'll see it in this game too. I still don't think that was a offensive foul. I still don't think that was a bad pick by Miles Turner. They were doing that all game long. Everybody was doing that all game long. They picked that time to call that as an offensive foul. And my man needs to. He is in New York, right? And I know that they have plays and stuff in New York, and acting is really prevalent in New York. But my man flopped last night it was Joe Pesci acting worse. Like it was great, right? So but anyway, it was good. I still say we're winning 6.
Okay, Broadway Brunson. So Joe,
Yes, sir.
we was on here when we heard that the Pacers was gonna take this series. After last night, how you feeling?
Man, the Pacers got robbed of 2 possessions, I would say. That with the kickball they called, that should have been a fast break. Should have been 2 points for y'all. And the offensive foul, I don't agree with that. That's not a foul in the playoffs. It's not. Did they watch the game afterwards? Did you take notes? That Timberwolves and Denver game was way more physical. But the Pacers in this game was physical too, though. But the fact that they called that was crazy. And it's not, I'm not, to clear it up because some people might confuse for another play. I'm not saying because of the time and the moment of the call. I'm talking about because it's not a foul. It's not a foul. But look, but saying all that, you said it, Tony. Y'all didn't lose because of that. Halliburton, man, he really, I forgot he was playing the whole second half. For real. He finished with 6 points, only took 6 shots, right? Matt even had 10 assists. He had 10 assists, dude, automatic, 15, 12. He had 8 assists, and so Halliburton disappointed me. I think Neesmith played very good, especially down in starting the stretch. He was getting y'all some big offensive rebounds, but Josh Hart, I said rebound is going to be key. In the first half, y'all out-rebounded the Knicks. The second half, they out-rebounded y'all 19-8. And Josh Hart had 2 crucial offensive rebounds. He got one off his own miss on the free throw line. That was crazy. And Stan Van Gundy mentioned it. He said, Josh Hart, this is what he does. And nobody puts a body on him. I don't get it. I'm watching from my TV. I'm like, what y'all doing? So I would like to see Siakam to be a little bit more aggressive. I think OG did a good job on him in the fourth quarter, though. OG did a great job, period, in the fourth quarter. He was very active with his hands, caused a few turnovers. But Jalen Brunson, man, did I say he gonna average 40? Did I say that? No, I that's what I told Dave.
You said he was going to average 35, and he's averaging more than that.
I said 35 against Philly. I said against the Pacers, he might average 40. But I was joking though. But he might just do that.
You did.
He might just do that. He had 43. And I don't think he could have been better. In my opinion, he wasn't even aggressive like that in the first half as he usually is. So, but y'all still could have won that game. Y'all should have won that game. But we'll see how game 2 goes. Rick Carlisle, I believe, is a really good coach. He's great at adjustments. I like how he downplayed the call. He didn't use that as an excuse. He said, hey, it's a playoffs. We don't expect to get no calls in that building. So I expect y'all to come back and play well. Shout out to TJ McConnell also.
AJ?
Yeah, man, I kind of have a lot of the same thoughts. Honestly, anytime Josh Hart go for 13 rebounds, and I think he had the most rebounds of anybody in the entire game on the flat, that's ridiculous. I think the Pacers have a really good shot. I'm definitely not ruling them out. I think I would pick them to go out and win game 2 because I expect Halliburton to play better in game 2. As far as the calls at the end of the game, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie, it was tough. If I was a Pacers fan, I'd be like, that's the reason why we lost. I would be going crazy. I'm not gonna lie about that. But it was game 1. Stuff like that is gonna happen when you leave it to the refs, when your star players don't show up, and play ball, and you pretty much get out hustled. And I think the biggest thing for me, if I'm Rick Carlisle, bruh, I'm not finna sit back and let Brunson go one-on-one no more for the rest of the series. Just like you was talking about Ant, I'm loading up on him every possession. Somebody else got to beat me. Now, Josh Hart, he can shoot. You know, DiVincenzo, he can shoot. OG can play. Those guys can play. We're not gonna act like they can't play, and they gonna make open shots. But I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna force them to make them shots, or at least attempt them, because I'm not about to allow Brunson to average 40. And this man, he's had 39 to 40 for the last 5 games. Why are you allowing him to go 1-on-1 all game long? No. You seeing 2, maybe 3 bodies. I'm getting the ball out of your hand, and I'm rotating that defense. And whoever open, we just got to live and die by that. If we lose because these other guys stepping up and giving us 25 to 30 a game, so be it. But you not gonna beat me scoring 40 a game. I can tell you that.
Let me answer that real quick. Now, the only thing I would say about that is this right here. If you're gonna call offensive fouls on certain players on there for creating room, then they got to start calling on Jalen Brunson, because he does it all the time. There's no way he got. Now, a lot of those calls, those shots in the paint, was because he was pushing off and was leaning to the side to shoot shots, and they're trying to create room. All right. If you're going to call it, and I saw them call it a lot in a lot of other series too. This very, I remember this very team right here in the Mavericks series. They called it on who did they call it on?
LeBron.
You on the Mavericks?
Which one? Huh? It was one. It was on one of the Mavericks players, and they kept calling. They called on him like twice in a row.
Kyrie?
Right? And it wasn't Luka. It was someone else. But they called it twice.
This year?
My bad. I got my daggone thing there. We got on who you say?
This year?
Yeah, this year.
It's not Kyrie.
It had to be Lively then.
It had. I think it might have been Kyrie, but they called on somebody. They called on them back-to-back plays, and I was just like, okay, all right. So they calling that, but then I saw the series with Brunson, and I was like, yo, this dude is doing the exact same, and it's not like he's hiding that he's doing it. The man's arm is extended doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like certain players get away with giving them a chicken wing. Edwards does it all the time. But it's in the spirit of the move. It's not the same thing with Brunson. That's the only thing that I last night I had an issue with, is the fact that they weren't calling that when he was doing it to Nembhard all game long. But anyway, that's all I had to say about that. But it's not that people are giving Brunson the 40 points. It's the fact that they're not calling certain things that they will call on other players when it comes down to that move, especially with him extending his arm. We're doing it.
Dave, how does game turn out for you? Dave? Oh.
Yeah, so for me, Tony pretty much said what I was about to talk about when it came to Jalen Brunson. It seems like he always gets away with those calls. It just seems like he does. But I got to give him some praise for this, though. He's the first player in NBA history to average 40 and 5 over on a 4-game stretch. Like the last 4 games, he's the only player in NBA history to score 40 points in each game and get 5 assists in each game. So he's doing what he needs to do. He made some clutch buckets in the end, some clutch pull-up some mid-range shots. He made he's the one that got the assists on Dante DiVincenzo, who hit that 3 after that controversial kickball call against the Pacers. And OG has just been doing what he needs to do. Was it Nesbitt that dunked on Mitchell Robinson? It was some key plays in there as well. The Pacers, I think, yeah. But one thing that I took away from this game is something that Tony had told me outside of the show. He basically said that one thing about the Knicks is they have a bench that they don't use. And if you look at it, he's absolutely right. I think at halftime, they had 1 point on the bench, and the Pacers had like 28 points off the bench. So
the whole game.
3 points the whole game. That means he's not getting – Tom Thibodeau is not getting his bench involved at all. They're just bodies at this point, because you got Trey McBride to come off the bench. He ain't really doing much. You went and traded for Bogdanović, so why are you not using him? And what's the other guy that used to play for Utah that they traded for as well? I can't remember his name.
Burks.
You got Alec Burks too. You're
From
not
Utah,
using,
you said? I don't know.
and they're not using them for real. They're just on the team. Now I get that Josh Hart and Brunson and Dante DiVincenzo, you want them to get their minutes and everything, but use your bench. Do you not trust them? Are they not good enough? But I guess this is just a Tom Thibodeau thing. He does this wherever he goes. He did this with Chicago. He did this with Minnesota when he was in Minnesota. So this is just what happens. So this is why I feel like this is a possibility that the Pacers can still win this, that can win this series for sure, because everything that Tony laid out is pretty much what happened. It's just that the Pacers didn't win game one, but they didn't win game one against the Bucks either. But we know the Bucks were depleted and stuff like that. So some people are going to excuse that because the Bucks weren't healthy. But like Tony said, the Bucks couldn't beat the Pacers in the regular season when Giannis healthy. Playoffs is a different atmosphere, so you never know what can happen. But you can kind of sort of go along those lines. There's only a few times where you can say regular season don't matter when it comes to playoff matchups. But I mean, Knicks won a game. It was a physical game. Knicks won. I'm just ready to see what happens in game two. I want to know if it's going to be called the same way. If it is, then I think the Knicks going to win the series, because it's like you're not giving the Pacers much of a chance if you're going to not call stuff on them, but you're going to call it on the other team. So we'll see.
So the few things that stood out for me is the one thing that you all are talking about, the minutes that the starting five is playing. Tom Thibodeau been waiting for a team like this since he had Derrick Rose back in Chicago. I've been waiting for my point guard to say he can play a whole game and possibly not get injured. I've been waiting for us to have that role player who's willing to get the 13 boards and get maybe 10 points, but also play 48 minutes a game. This is what like Carl said, this is his MO. His MO is, it should be MP, minutes played. That's his MP, because that's what he's doing. You're going to play the most minutes, and you're going to just have to do something out there while it's happening. 21 points, though. Is Brunson from the area? Do you play like 33 or something like that? Because to get 21 in the fourth quarter, that means you must have knew that he had 29, and it was time to turn up. You're not about to win this game. So that's what happened there. But them Villanova boys, man, that was some of the best. That was one of the best trios that the New York Knicks could have got. And I would say quietly, Julius Randle, man, you might want to be talking to your agent. That's all I'm going to say. And hold up, what call? Okay, yep. We ain't going to say too much. But the Knicks last night, the Nova boys had 92 points. The rest of the team had 29. So that goes back to saying that he doesn't use the bench at all. But also, I think Tom Thibodeau is one of them coaches that's like, if I bring you off the bench, you better do something right in this moment, because other than that, you won't see the court again.
Mm-hmm.
Pacers still got a shot, though, because this game was too close. And you need too many heroics from Brunson to win games. So New York Knicks, they got to find a way to actually win a game without Brunson having to go for 21.
And real quick, before you go, I know you had something to say, Tony. In New York, I think in the DMV, we're the only ones that do 33.
I know. That's why I had to let the masses know. They play
everybody else played. Yeah, I'm about to say everybody else played 21.
AJ, y'all play 21 in Minnesota?
Yep, 21. Yeah. Call it a hustle, or 21. One of the two.
They call it a hustle here too in Rhode Island. But I just want to say this: it's gonna be hard to double Brunson, man. He's really good at getting the ball out of his hands, and New York is really good at getting in position to get the ball out of Brunson's hands. I remember when we played on, that's what we did the whole game. And early on it worked, and then Brunson got a groove. As far as he was finding the right man every time. So he does a good job if you try to blitz him, get the ball out of his hands. And the offensive foul call y'all keep talking about, everybody does that, and nobody gets a call unless you hit them in their face. Let somebody get bowled in their face. In the playoffs, that really don't be getting called. So you got to deal with it. I would say, though, that was a ticky-tack charge. I don't think ticky-tack calls are fouls in the playoffs. Shouldn't be called. Once again, tune in to Minnesota and Nuggets. You need to take notes. I think that referee name is Davis. Shout out to Davis, man.
Hey, another thing real quick, just to say something real quick. I told you also that OG and Pascal will pretty much cancel each other out. That's going to be the whole series between those two. The other thing, the only thing that the reason why I think Pascal, something's wrong. He can't shoot free throws right now. Like even in the series against Milwaukee, he was missing them. All right, and I was just like, yo, he can't get fouled. Like when he go up in the air, somebody need to go in there and like hip check the person on him so he doesn't get fouled, because he's not going to make the free throw. Like when he made 2 in a row last night, I was like, the Lord be praised, because he hit both of them. He can't. He will not. He won't. I don't know what's going on. He's shortened every shot. Right? I don't know what's going on with that with him, but they're going to cancel each other out. This is very much going to be a guards series. The guards are going. What happens with the guards is going to determine how this series is going to go. You know what I'm saying? And that's just real how it's going to work out. Now, I was surprised that some of the things that they did in there, yesterday, certain players got certain shots yesterday that I was shocked with and stuff like that. But I will say something that also
get the
that
money
has
right
nothing to do with
quick,
the
man.
series, but something that I said, and I was listening to you guys the other day.
Tone.
I think he gets volume
you
down.
guys are underestimating
Tony.
when it comes to that series.
Tony. We gotta read the super chat.
Hey, what Martin be doing?
Nah, this is a Kevin Hart moment.
Yeah, look at my heart. Yeah, Tony, can you hear us?
Hey, no, in all seriousness, I think you guys are underestimating Cleveland. I think that's going to be a closer series than y'all think it's going to be.
I said 6.
And the only reason why I say that is because I just don't trust their Boston's.
I said 6, man. I ain't cursed.
I just don't trust Boston's coach. That's the only reason why I say it's going to be a closer series. I don't trust their coach. If Cleveland gets them into a point where there's adversity, I think he's going to make bad decisions like he did last year.
Stop it.
That's going to make that series
Get
closer.
some help.
Yo.
Anyway,
Hey, Tony, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
We gotta read the super chat.
We got to read it out loud, Tony. That's what you said.
I don't think you hear us. I don't think you hear us. Go ahead. Like somebody said,
my bad. I couldn't hear it. Go ahead.
Oh,
It was a senior moment.
I'm not reading it. I'm not reading it. I'm sorry.
I got
Go ahead.
Hey, shout out to Teddy for being an 8-month member. What's up, fellas? Yo, shout out to the La Familia. Yo. Hey, you don't want to be a part of that Tom Brady roast, man. Shout out to the La Familia. Hashtag stop spreading the news. Hashtag humble. Hashtag do your job. Hashtag fight on. You right about that one, Teddy. Hashtag Duke. Hashtag Celtics in 5. Sheesh. Hashtag Red Sox suck. Hashtag refuse to lose. I don't know why you keep going.
Tell me you gotta say the Celtics at 5, right?
Oh yeah, Celtics at 5, baby.
Hey, I didn't even realize that I had muted my computer completely. Absolutely nothing.
And just for that, you get your last words, man. We out of here. He gonna mute us. How you gonna mute us on the show? My man was just talking. He didn't even hear us.
I was trying to alert him. I was like,
hey, look, turn hearing aid off.
I saw Tomo do all types of stuff behind it. I was like, what the heck is Tomo doing?
And the sound effects up here. This man still going on.
Once I knew you couldn't hear me, I was like, I gotta do something. Oh man.
Flag him down.
I was like, what is Tomo doing
Back there. I was like, I don't know. Maybe he just anyway. My bad.
But last words, Tony.
Oh no, man. Like I said, I think you guys are really underestimating Cleveland. Like I know I said it before, but I think you're underestimating them. And the only reason I say that is because, like I said, I don't trust their coach. I don't trust their coach at all. I think that could very much be a 7-game series.
Mm-hmm.
Very much be a 7-game series, and it's always going to depend on what he does with his rotations. Now that he doesn't have, now that they have that injury, what are they going to do with his rotations? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going to happen with them. Like I said, 6 games there. Somebody's getting swept. I don't know which team it is, but y'all know which one it is. It's a preview of it last night. Probably getting swept. I don't think they can handle Edwards. Edwards is, he need to change his last name from Edwards to Jordan because he playing very Jordan like.
I mean, that's his daddy. Oh, my bad.
You can't take nothing from that dude. When I saw him come from the side and dunk like he did in that one game, and his feet was I saw the bottom of his feet.
Hey, Tony.
Ooh. Anyway, thank you.
You got us muted, man. I thought he muted us again. Look,
Oh, goofy.
Hey, no, I'm goofy now. It's about 8:00, man. I'm sorry.
Woo.
Actually, David's computer was on, so I heard y'all that time. If David would have turned the sound on, I would have heard y'all.
Oh, we can hear you. Yeah, we know who in the doghouse.
Yeah, producer.
Well, see, just
I appreciate you, Tony.
Yeah, appreciate you. We see you in the chat, Tony. What's going on?
What more do you want from me?
All right.
All right, y'all.
I'm gonna go ahead and take it away. All right, Tony.
All right.
It's the most awkward show ever.
This is actually
So
good.
many
This was
damn
funny,
moments.
I needed this one. We needed this episode right here.